Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with the occasional review. Planning has always been my way of working out problems and solving the day-to-day issues in my life. Join me as I experiment on how to best tackle projects, figure out how to stick with habit tracking, and celebrate the wins, both big and small. So grab a cup or a glass of whatevs and let's get on with the video. You guys, March is around the corner. We only have a few days left before March 2023 is here, which means we will be entering the last month of the first quarter of 2023. I think I said that right, but if I didn't, you know what I mean. So here's what I'm going to be using to set up for March, and I'm only going to be setting up my monthly spread in this video just because I'm going to be changing some things and I don't want it to be too long. I'm working on the length of videos. So let's talk about what I'm going to be using. Of course, I'm going to be using my Bullet Journal Edition 2 for the month of March, but some of the little extras that I'm going to be using here is the fact that, if you remember, I forgot in February that the Bullet Journal Edition 2 comes with these awesome stickers. Now, there have been some complaints. No, I shouldn't say complaints. People have pointed out, and rightly so, that these are very faint. Both the numbers and the days of the week. And then of course we have the monthlies, which are kind of small as well. That's been another thing that people have pointed out. They have this beautiful rose gold detail of foiling on them, and they are gorgeous. And let me know down below if you've used these or what you would use them for if you had them. I don't know. I understand that you could probably use these for little paragraphs of ideas and thoughts. I don't know if I would do it that way, but I'm at a loss, so let me know down below, or else they might just sit here and I might never use them. So there's that. And I've already taken off some of these and I put them here so I wouldn't forget to use them, because let me tell you what, I sit down and I go off on a tangent and I will just start, writing out the monthly spread with a pen instead of using these. So I do have my scissors because I have not looked at the month of March and I don't know if they start on Monday. So each one of these stickers does start on a Monday. So if it starts on a Tuesday or Wednesday, you're gonna have to cut them. So I've got my scissors, my Tim Holtz scissors here, very sharp. Keep this on at all times. I almost stabbed myself the other day. I did stab myself, but it didn't bleed. Super sharp. Be careful. No safety scissors here. Okay, so then I have my mechanical pencil because I like to draw out certain lines or divisions with a pencil so they're not so harsh, because sometimes if I see a very harsh line, it's like a mental block for me. So I like using a pencil. It's a little bit more subtle, a little less offensive to the brain. This is the number I'm going to be using for March. Of course, like many people, I think March always reminds me of green. So this is the color I'll be using. I do have a couple of these tweezers out so that I can put this down a little bit easier. I'm hoping it will help. I imagine because this is on a grid, you'll definitely be able to see if it's crooked, and that would drive me insane. So I'm gonna try really hard, y'all. I'm gonna try hard. Have my eraser for mistakes and friction pen. Okay, so I have been using, this is a big change, the Sarasa pens. More importantly, I've been using the cartridges for the Sarasa pen because it's nice and big and it lasts for a long time. I have been putting that into my Pilot Dr. Grip gel pen because it fits in there nicely. This is a fatter pen. I can hold it for long periods of time. However, this pen is very opaque. I did a sample somewhere because I wanted to try it out. So right there you can see that the friction pen is much lighter than the Sarasa pen. So I'm hoping that will look a little less harsh against this very subtle gray, because I think the contrast would just kill me in the end and it would drive me insane. And that is everything I will be using. I also have this stamp that I used last month, but I don't know. It was okay. I don't know if it was necessary. Sorry, it's dirty. But I will put that off to the side in case it's something I come back to. So let's go over the month. Again, we still have like 3 or 4 days left in this month, but I'm just gonna put this under here. There we go. So this section here didn't work because I tried to divide it into 2 sections and I found that some days I needed the whole line just to write one event. I never erased this. I'm going to do it right now live. This is life, people. And so I've decided I'm going to go back to just the standard one line and get rid of this. I also think I'm going to get rid of this. This was something I tried out, and it's okay to try new things. And it was fine. It was okay. There were a couple things on here, like essays. I think I worked on them twice in the entire month. And so I actually don't need a space for that. I don't have as much time as I thought I would to work on them because I am still editing the work in progress. Also with social media, I need to work on that better, so I need to find a spread or something that I can do that's going to help me out with that because this just didn't work. The notes were okay, but not necessary, so I'm kind of over this section. I did have my monthly on 2, 3, 4 pages or 2 spreads. So here was just like a standard monthly, and then over here I had a bunch of little categories. I had meditation down here that I was tracking separate from here. Over here, I had this section, which was supposed to be my forward planning. I did like that. Anything that I knew was coming up, I just wrote down here. That worked out fine. These were don't forgets, things that probably weren't going to happen in the month of February. They were actually going to be happening mostly in March, but I put them here so that if I could get some time to figure them out early, then I could. But most of them I didn't. I did see this as I was going back through. Use your journal stickers. So I did pull them out because I forgot to use them in February. And then of course I had a shopping list down here, and these were some things that I don't always get every single time I go shopping, but like if I was out of it and I needed to buy these things in bulk, I went ahead and wrote them there. And then over here I had some household things. A couple things I didn't get done was to vacuum the car and wash the car because again we've had a bunch of snowstorms here and it's just been a muddy hot mess. And my car on the inside, like we have mats, luckily, the rubber mats, so that's great. They're still a hot mess and I really need to get on that sometime. Also, the vacuums in my town are out of order, so I'd have to go to the bigger town anyway. I really like having these, I don't know, they're like floating to-do lists. Can we call them that? They're just sticky notes, right? I didn't work on YouTube stories at all. So again, this is a spread along with anything to do with social media that I need to figure out and work on because I am terrible with that. And maybe March is the month when I get my life together with this. Everything else is going pretty well. I did not keep up with this list. I've read more than 3 books. As you can see here, I just forget to write it down. So this is something else I need to figure out. History Day, this was something that's happening all the way until I think mid-March. So again, it would have benefited me to have it on a sticky note so I could just pull it up and put it on to the next month. I know you guys, for those of you who are true blue Writer Carol bullet journal people, you're like, write it down. That way you can go through the list and mark what's relevant and what's not. I get that and I appreciate it, but for me and my anxiety and the way I bullet journal, it doesn't work for me because it makes me feel like I just did shit. You know, like I look at this list and I'm like, look at you. What have you done with your life? Nothing, which is not true. And so when I have it as a sticky note that I can move, it doesn't say you have to do it right now. Why does that work with the books? I couldn't say. Maybe because I've built up the habits. And I know some of you are probably thinking, because you move this, it makes it seem like it's not as important. And I appreciate those people who are pointing that out. And you're right to an extent. So I think what I want to do is to condense, move back to 2 pages, do something different with this page, possibly like tasks that I want to accomplish on the lower half and make the top half more of a Kanban board where I do more of like the getting things done or just a Kanban board probably where you do like your backlog, next action, kind of a combination of the two maybe. And I could do that with this. I could just make a spread of a Kanban board to help me with tasks on this side. Maybe that would work, but having 4 pages of writing things down didn't work for me and I need some help. And so that's why in this video, we're only going to be focusing on the monthly because it's going to be kind of long. I'll probably do a speedy quick part of the video, but at the end I will come back and talk about why I made the decisions that I made. Cool? Also, before I do that, I should say that I'm starting on page 76. I have added a nice amount of collections to the back. And that's another thing I might have to point out, that some of these things that I was trying to track on the monthly might it might benefit me to make them collections. Does that make sense? So that might also be something that I do. Yeah. I might have to get out my stickies because I really miss my sticky notes for the Kanban board. So I'm gonna go get that and then we're gonna get started. Okay, I chose this. Gosh, everything is just dirty. Dust and everything. Been in a drawer. I don't know how that happens. Anyway, does this happen to you also? These are kind of cheapy deepy sticky notes that I ended up getting from AliExpress. They're the same ones you can also get on Amazon. So by cheapy deepy, I mean, sometimes they have an issue sticking. I've never had that problem, but as I rub my finger over the top, I can feel the glue from the sticky note before. So that can become an issue if it starts to stick to the page, like the page starts to stick to it, or, you know, it's hard to write there because you're writing over like adhesive. So I don't know, I might have to pull one off. It might be just because they've been in the drawer and they've started to get like little pieces of fluff and hair on them. I don't know. Do you guys have this issue? I can feel it a little bit on the next one, but maybe if I rubbed it off, we'll see. They're pretty, they're green, so they're gonna go with this March style a little bit more. The other ones I have are pink, so we're just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna take off this top layer, and I'm actually gonna use these on my fridge so they won't go to waste, and I'm gonna use a marker so that when I use like a ballpoint pen or something, it doesn't like get the stuff stuck on it and stop writing correctly, because that would suck. Okay. All right. So we're starting on page 76. And I think that means we should have plenty of space for March, but I'm not entirely sure. Let's see where, that's where my collections start. I'm not sure if we're going to have enough to go to the next month. January, February, March, April. I knew that off the top of my head. And also it's going to be a new quarter, and I kind of like the idea of starting in a new notebook for a new quarter. And really my goal for this notebook was to actually give it a shot, because honestly, when I had it as a not a composition, I was gonna say composition, I'm looking at the composition notebooks next to me, as a commonplace notebook, I didn't give it much of a shot. I couldn't handle the thickness of the paper, and honestly, it's been pretty nice having the thick paper. It hasn't bothered me at all. Sometimes I have to try things a couple of times until I figure it out and I can let go of certain things. So, all right. Gonna move on. Also, I will be listening to David Sedaris, whom I love and I highly, highly recommend. This book is called When You Are Engulfed in Flames, and it is hilarious. He is so enjoyable. I watched his masterclass and I just think he's a gem. So he is a writer who goes on the road and basically does kind of like a stand-up. He tells his stories in a stand-up style, and then he writes down when people laugh, when they don't. He tweaks things along his tour, and by the end of the tour, he has an entire book to publish. And I think that is just a really cool way to write your life.
But I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get you, baby. So I stand up and speak just my mind. Oh, baby, you give me ice and fire. You're chilling when the rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, 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 baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. And twist myself at the spine.
Okay, we are back and completely finished. So this is how my monthly spread looks. Technically it's more than a spread, meaning 2 pages. It's 3. I just decided last minute I like the idea of having sticky notes. They make me happy. So here's what I went ahead and did. R is for reading, D is for Duolingo, and then M is for meditation. So these are things I want to track off to the side here. I do have more things to add to this list, but I thought I would add them later because some things I'm not sure exactly what dates or times they're going to be happening, but I know they're in March. Added a little bit of color here and there so that it wasn't so plain. This is okay. This wasn't as hard to put down as I thought it would be. It blends nice enough, I think. These are not like the stickers where they're going to be like stark white against like cream colored paper. They're meant to blend in with the actual page itself. So not mad at them, not mad. Still using my Midori stamps here, here, and here. I feel like the Kanban board is working out well. So I have my 2 YouTube channels. Then I have YouTube Shorts, which is something I need to work on. So that's like its own separate thing. History Day project, breaking it down here. And this is the current work in progress, which I will not know until the last day how far I've made it and where I want to go next. So currently I am doing another draft of DH2. This is the first book because it's a duology. I wanted to go back through and tie everything together and make sure that everything works and I haven't misplaced any storylines. Down here I have my future log because you know from past videos I've tried to have a future log in the front. I'd forget about it. I tried to put it in the back with the collections so I would see it more. It just doesn't work out for me, but for some reason putting it on the monthly does, so that's what we're going to go with there. Then I just have a bunch of sticky notes on this page. We have cleaning, meals that I want to try for the month, history day project. I just went ahead and put that on a post-it here because I made that mistake last month. That way, actually it's only until March, so it would have been okay to actually write it down, but I like the fact that once it's finished I can pull it off and put another sticky note there, so that makes me happy. Instagram, I don't know. I need to try some things out with Instagram. I know it's fun for some people. It just seems like a chore to me anymore. Sometimes I'll do a story here and there and those are fun, but I want to try to focus more on the YouTube story / shorts instead. This is blank for right now, just in case I needed a spot for something else. And that is my monthly. Oh, I did move in the back here my list of YouTube stories here so that I can make it a project page, because I think it needs to be its own thing that I just refer to. And I might go ahead and write down page 192 and 193 somewhere. Let's see, where should I write that? Where should I write that? Probably here. And I also am using this. It's just pure black. And I thought, oh, these probably shouldn't change. And I put number 1 here, like a ridiculous person. But I don't want to change these, probably just switch out these, because these are the categories I want to focus on for the month of March. So we'll see how that goes. And I can't breathe because I need to take a hit of my inhaler, which means it's time for me to go. What do you guys think about this? It's still kind of simplistic. You can move these around however you wish, take things out, put new things in. So I like the flexibility of that. I did condense from 4 pages to 3, so I'm working on it. Like the idea of having an inbox sort of here situation. I don't know. I think it's cool. So tune in for my next video to see if I decide to go ahead and put a 1-page or 2-page spread for the weekly, or if I nix it completely. I'm still thinking about that, and I have a few days to figure that out. I might just start with page day 1 of March right here and then go forward from there. All right, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.